Odin, the one-eyed god, reigned on his throne in Asgard, the realm of the Aesir gods. His court had other deities, which further increased the prestige of Odin's kingdom. But another kingdom was also extremely prestigious among men: Vanaheim, the land of the Vanir gods. These competed with the Asgardians for the worship of mortals. Both kingdoms coexisted, but always with tension between them. The gods of Asgard descended from Vili, Ve, and Odin, who in the early days defeated the giant Ymir. The origin of the Vanir was unknown. Besides Odin, Thor and Loki were the most prominent deities in Asgard. In Vanaheim, the highlights were Frey, Freya, and Njord. The Asgardians were deities connected with power and war, while the Vanir were gods of fertility. There was Gulveig, a strong sorceress known for her greed and love of gold. The gods of Asgard found her unbearable and tried 3 times to burn the witch, but she always returned. But the sorceress was an ally of the Vanir gods, who were outraged by the way the Asgardians treated their protege. The precarious peace between Vanir and Aesir ended, and the first great war between gods broke out. Odin threw his powerful spear at the Vanir. It was a sign that this would not be a simple disagreement, but a battle that could decide the fate of the world. No other war would be as important until Ragnarok. The Vanir gods would eventually march against Asgard, bringing down part of the mighty wall erected by the giant builder. The conflict between the gods made the world tremble. Both sides showed their worth, fighting with great courage. Neither side was able to overthrow the other, and the devastation of the war worried both sides. The war could last for millennia, and if one side were to win, it would rain only on ashes, for nothing would be left after such a massive conflict. Therefore, the authorities on both sides decided to seal the peace between the two peoples. To ensure goodwill, an exchange of hostages took place. The Asgardian gods Mimir and Honir would move to Vanaheim, while Frey, Freya, and Njord would move to Asgard. The two gods who came to live in Vanaheim were described as great sages, but in fact only Mimir was endowed with wisdom. Honir pretended to be wise, but only repeated what Mimir whispered in his ear. The Vanir noticed that when Honir was consulted about some issue and Mimir was not around, he would always reply, "Let the others decide." Realizing that they had been deceived and that Mimir was complicit in that plan, the Vanir gods cut off their heads and returned them to Odin. The father of all did not want to lose Mimir's wisdom and used his powers to resurrect the head. Mimir was revived, and Odin began to consult the sage's head when he needed his precious advice. A new peace agreement was sealed between Vanir and Aesir, and the two peoples began to live in harmony. The Vanir gods were placed on the Norse pantheon alongside the Aesir. Thus, gods such as Frey and Freya came to be admired as other great Aesir gods.